Welcome back here at Cardenese Field as our pregame show continues. First, we'll give you a recap of last night's contest. The Newport Gulls jumped out to an early 2-0 lead, but the Sanford Mainers climbed back into the game, eventually taking a 3-2 lead going into the ninth inning. Newport had the bases loaded with one out in the top of the ninth, and that's when all things, when everything went crazy for the Newport Gulls as Newport and Sanford battled it out. The Gulls had a double play ball, which, according to the umpires, originally ended the game, but it was later discovered that the tying run did score from third base. In the process, Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs was ejected. There was a near ending of the ball game as the Newport Gulls coaching staff stepped up and convinced the umpires that the game really did not end. Well, to explain what happened, Jacob Ouellette and I have the call. Let's take a listen in to the wild play that originally ended the game, but then resumed the game last night in the ninth inning at Sanford.
The pitch. Swung on and chopped to Cam Young over at second base. And they call him out. Double play here. Double play here in the ninth inning. We're going to have an argument here from Mike Coombs. Very confusing play as Cam Young gathered it up, tagged. It looked like he tagged Perret and then flipped on to first. The argument here is if Kaufman beat the throw, half the man is still out of the dugout. We're waiting the call here. So if that, the Mainers are going to continue on here to celebrate. And it looks like the umpires aren't going to budge. So what happened, Cam Young came charging in, took the ball, ran on, tagged Perret, and flipped on to.
Mike Coombs is tossed out of the game. He throws his hat, and he's tossed out by the field umpire, Mark Tor.
A very bang-bang play over at first base. So Cam Young, again, tagged Perret, ran over, flipped on to Hajar. Kaufman looked like he might have beat the throw, but called out by field umpire Mark Tor. And the umpires are making their way off the field. Mike Coombs has been ejected as this game is over. The Newport Gulls bench not happy about this as they're having some words as they get out. Now Kevin Long's going to get into it with the umpires, blocking the umpires' exit from Goodall Park.
Kevin Long won't let him leave the field.
And the Gulls still contesting. Mainers players lining up at the plate to shake hands, and now the umpires have made their way off the field. Very upset.
I guess so. Al Lever's still walking after them too.
And now actually having some. And I don't know what's going to happen here. Now the Gulls, the players, it almost looked like one of the Gulls players were calling off the Mainers team, saying that they're not going to shake hands, and they're not going to.
So the Newport Gulls and the Sanford Mainers did not shake hands. The Gulls refused, as they felt the game was not over yet, and they were right. The game was not over. The double play did not end the game because the tying run crossed the plate before the double play took place. And Mike Coombs is arguing that the call was wrong at first base and that the runner Kaufman beat out the tag. But next up, we figured out what was really happening as the Gulls and the Mainers would end up resuming play in the ninth.
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. It looks like the umpires are going to make their way back onto the field. How is this even happening right now? I don't understand this, Nick. The umpires had already made their way off the field.
Al Lever followed him out into the parking lot. I don't know what he said to him. They're still talking things over.
And now Isaac's getting into it. I've never seen this happen at all in a game of baseball. Unbelievable game of baseball right now. I'm not sure what's happening. And if this continues, I can almost imagine that Isaac is going to have his word in here. The Mainers ground crew already picking up the bases as this thing was sealed off. And I don't know what's going to happen here. This is unreal.
The Gulls defense looks like they're getting ready to retake the field. They're walking back out there.
And now Rob Robinson and Aaron Isaac having a word. Nick, I've never seen this before.
Did they reverse the call? This makes absolutely no sense. Mike Coombs has been ejected. He is leaving the ballpark. He's heading out of the field right now. He's collected his stuff from the dugout. But the Gulls players looks like they might be getting ready to go back out.
Might be going back out. And I've never seen that. I've never seen the umpires leave a field like that and then come back on. Al Lever left the ballpark, left the field to argue the call some more with the umpires, and everyone's still standing around here. Every Mainers fan's on their feet trying to see what happens.
The Gulls are tossing the ball around the infield right now. Aaron Isaac is talking things over with Rob Robinson, and he's obviously not happy. Al Lever is talking things over with Mark Tor, the field umpire.
And now it looks like they just what is going on here? I've never seen this. I've never seen this. I've never seen a call reversed by the umpires after exiting the field after calling out number 3.
Unbelievable. Well,
oh my, wow. Oh my word. Oh my word. I've never.
But the wildness did not end there for the Newport Gulls. After the game was resumed, Newport Gulls tied the score. They made it through the bottom of the ninth. The game went to extra innings. Through the 10th they went and into the top of the 11th, and that's how the Newport Gulls managed to lower the bases, and wouldn't you know it, Blake Butera, who had scored all 3 runs for the Newport Gulls, was standing away 90 feet away with the go-ahead run as the Newport Gulls were continuing to bat in the 11th. Let's take another listen in to last night's contest.
From Armour. The 2-1 pitch coming on the way to the plate. Low and away, ball 3. And once you know, the Newport Gulls are 1 pitch out of the zone away from retaking the lead in a game they led much of the way until the Mainers battled back in the 7th inning and the 8th inning. From the stretch, the 3-1. Swing a ground ball, bounce to right side, through for a base hit. Here comes Butera to score. Coming in right behind him is Charlie White, and the Newport Gulls take a 5-3 lead here in the 11th. Can you believe it? Casey Coffin drives in his 2nd and 3rd runs of the night, and Newport jumps out on top again. Here in the 11th inning, they're on top 5-3 as Kaufman picks up.
Newport Gulls would tack on 3 more runs in the top half of the 11th inning before heavy downpours and rain showers ended the game, but then finalized the game as the umpires called for the tarp. Of course, with league rules being that the home team still needed an opportunity to bat in the home half of the 11th to answer the Newport Gulls. There are still 3 outs left to play in that contest. The game was unplayable from thereafter as Newport left Sanford the top on the field. Heavy rain showers going all the way back from Sanford, Maine to New York. There was no hopes of restarting the game at that point. So the Gulls and the Mainers will likely have to finish that game, and Newport, with a 5-run lead, may have to record the final 3 outs in the 11th inning, possibly here on Monday night, which what might now be a triple header. We'll have no official word yet from the league. Already a doubleheader is scheduled between Newport and Sanford on Monday, and the Gulls may also have to get those other 3 out. So we'll wait on word on that. And for now, last night's game remains a suspended contest. Newport leading 8-3 in the middle of the 11th inning. That's a look at last night's game. Now coming up, tonight's games preview as our pregame show continues. Newport Gulls Eye View coming up as Catherine Haas has Blake Butera, the hero of last night's game, next on the NECBR Broadcast Network.